Long ago, before the Amazon rainforest existed, the world was empty. The earth was bare, and there were no plants, no rivers, no animals, just the endless sky and the bare ground. The gods in the heavens looked down upon the earth and saw that it was desolate. They knew that the world could not remain this way, so they decided to create a rich and vibrant forest to bring life to the land. The gods summoned the spirits of the animals, each of whom was given a task. The jaguar was called upon to be the protector of the forest, the one who would guard the balance of life. The howler monkey was entrusted with the sound of the forest, to fill the air with the echoes of life and signal the dawn of a new era. The armadillo was chosen to dig into the earth, bringing forth the underground waters, creating the rivers and streams that would nourish the forest. The Paca, a small but mighty creature, was given the task of carrying the seeds of plants across the land, spreading life wherever it travelled. The sloth, known for its patience and calmness, was tasked with being the guardian of time, watching over the forest as it grew. As the animals worked together, the world began to transform. The jaguar's roars echoed across the land, calling the spirits of other creatures to join the creation of the forest. The monkeys swung from tree to tree, laughing and spreading joy into the air. The Paka carried seeds and scattered them in the earth, and where the seeds landed, plants began to grow, first as small sprouts and then as towering trees, their branches reaching toward the sky. The armadillo dug deeper into the earth, carving out pathways for the rivers that would snake across the land. Slowly, the once barren earth became filled with rivers, trees, and the rich sounds of nature. The sloth observed the forest with great wisdom, ensuring that the balance of life was maintained. In time, the animals completed their work, and the Amazon was born, a lush, vibrant forest teeming with life. The gods saw that the forest had become a sanctuary for all creatures, a place where they could live in harmony, guided by the rhythms of nature. And so the Amazon rainforest came into existence, a gift from the gods, shaped by the efforts of the animals and the spirits that moved through the earth. The animals had created not just a place of beauty, but a sacred home for the world's most precious life. This tiny, elusive mammal hunts with venom and has an incredibly flexible trunk-like nose. It's called the Solenodon, a rare survivor from a distant past. Solenodons have existed for over 60 million years, enduring the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. Remarkably, they've changed very little since then. So rare are these creatures that they're often mistaken for extinct. Belonging to the Solenodontidae family, they are found only in Cuba, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. These nocturnal animals are secretive by nature and don't thrive in captivity, which makes them incredibly difficult to study or breed. However, what we do know about them is truly fascinating. Solenodons are one of the few venomous mammals on Earth. They use their grooved lower incisors like syringes to inject venom into their prey, mainly insects and small animals which are quickly incapacitated. But their oddities don't stop there. Female Solenodons have just 2 teats, located far back near their hips. When moving, their young cling to their sides or hind legs, often appearing to be dragged along. Their unique gait has been described as a wobble walk or zombie shuffle. Although Solenodons have few natural predators, they now face significant threats from invasive species. Feral dogs and cats, introduced by humans, are among the biggest dangers to these ancient mammals. With habitat loss and deforestation also taking their toll, the Solenodon now has more to fear from us than from the natural world. Solenodons grow up to 13 inches long and weigh just over 2 pounds. Their most distinctive feature is their incredibly flexible snout, which is connected to the rest of their head by a ball and socket joint. This allows the tip of their nose to move side to side with surprising agility, almost like a tiny trunk. They are more closely related to shrews than to rats or mice. In captivity, they've been known to live between 5 and 11 years, though scientists still don't know how long they can live in the wild. This royal rat earned its nickname after being famously served to Queen Elizabeth II during a visit to Belize. But its real name is the Paka, a large, ground-dwelling, herbivorous rodent that roams the forests of Central and South America. Belonging to the genus Cuniculus, it's the only member of the family Cuniculidae. Pacas are striking creatures, their fur patterned with distinctive spots and stripes along their sides, short ears and barely visible tails. In appearance, they're somewhat similar to a chevrotain. Adults can grow up to 30 inches long and weigh 25 pounds or more, making them the 14th largest rodents in the world. Young pacas are especially unique, covered in horny scales, an unusual trait for a mammal. There are two main species, the lowland Paca, which ranges from Mexico to northern Argentina, and the mountain Paca, found in the Andes. These rodents thrive in rainforests, cloud forests, and even more open environments. Interestingly, Pacas are one of the few mammals that successfully migrated northward during the Great American Interchange around 3 million years ago. Despite their size, Pacas are great swimmers, usually found near bodies of water. When threatened, they don't hesitate to dive underwater, where they can remain submerged for up to 15 minutes. On land, they can leap over 3 feet and remain motionless for up to 45 minutes, using the stillness to avoid predators. Strictly nocturnal, Pacas spend their days in burrows, which can be as deep as 10 feet. These burrows are cleverly designed with 2 entrances, both covered with leaves, an ingenious tactic that not only conceals the entrance but also serves as an alarm system when disturbed. However, despite their powerful legs, deep burrows and ability to dive, the Paca is still on the menu for larger predators. Jaguars, ocelots and large snakes hunt them, and in some areas, humans pose the greatest threat to their survival. This is the smallest anteater on Earth, tiny, elusive and full of surprises. At just 18 inches long and weighing a little over 14 ounces, the Silky Antita, also known as the pygmy anteater, is the only living member of the family Cyclopedidae. Despite being known by a single name, recent research suggests that Cyclopes didactylus may actually represent several distinct species. To find one, you'd have to head into the dense forests of southern Mexico, Central America or South America. But don't expect an easy sighting. This animal is incredibly secretive. It's strictly nocturnal and completely arboreal, spending its life hidden high in the canopy. Its dense, silky fur ranges from grey to golden yellow with a silver sheen, blending perfectly into the dappled light of the treetops. Its body is built for climbing. The hind feet are highly adapted, and its prehensile tail works like a fifth limb, helping it balance, grip and hang from branches. It moves slowly but methodically, feeding mostly on ants with a daily diet that ranges from 700 to 5,000. The name Cyclopes didactylus means two-fingered, a reference to the 2 large claws on each front paw. These claws are used to tear into ant and termite nests hidden in tree bark or tucked away in bromeliads, but it doesn't stop at ants. These little predators also raid wasp nests, striking at night when the wasps are sluggish and unable to fight back. And when threatened, this tiny insectivore doesn't run. It's far too slow for that. Instead, it does something unexpected. It rises up on its hind legs, using its tail for balance, and raises its clawed front limbs like a tiny, defiant boxer. With slow, deliberate swipes, it tries to fend off attackers, not with speed, but with sharp precision and a surprising dose of attitude. They have no teeth, and they don't need them. Their highly specialized diet and lifestyle make chewing unnecessary. The Silky Antita is still one of the least studied mammals in the Americas, largely because of how rarely it's seen. But what we do know paints the picture of a beautifully adapted, highly specialized and strangely charming little creature. Still, even with camouflage and claws, life isn't easy. Predators like owls, ocelots, margays and tree-dwelling snakes all pose a threat. Moving slowly and staying hidden helps, but only up to a point. Long ago, before the rivers knew their names and the stars had scattered across the sky, the world was held in silence. There was no time, no death, no song, only the great dark. And in that silence, the snake was born. Its body stretched longer than any river. Its scales shimmered with the memory of things not yet made. It was not a snake like we know it. It had no eyes, for there was no light. It had no hunger, for there was no food. It simply was. The elders say this snake coiled itself into a spiral, tighter than thought, tighter than breath, and from its body came the world. The mountains rose where its spine arched, the rivers flowed where it pressed into the soil, the stars burned where its breath escaped. And the snake slept. But its dreaming was not still. Each turn of the snake's breath brought seasons. Its slow heartbeat was the rhythm of time. As long as it dreamed, the world moved forward, gently and in balance. The people were born into this balance, the animals too. The jaguar, the frog, the firefly, all were sparks in the snake's sleep. But the snake does not dream forever. As the stories go, the snake begins to stir when the world forgets how to listen. When the trees are chopped too fast, when the animals vanish without thanks, when people speak only to themselves and not to the forest, the snake begins to feel pain along its back, like fire crawling under its scales. It uncoils, just a little at first, and with that the rains change. The fish do not return to the rivers, the birds forget the direction of the wind. When the snake uncoils fully, the world will end, the forest will fold into itself, the rivers will boil, the sky will crack open, and time will scatter like seeds in a storm. The snake will rise, tall as thunder, and devour what it once made, not out of anger, but because the cycle has closed. The dreaming has ended, but the old ones say we are not helpless. They say you can hear the snake breathing if you're quiet enough. You can feel its pulse in the roots of the ceiba tree or in the flick of a tapir's tail. The world still whispers its balance to those who will listen. And if we remember, not just the story, but the silence it came from, maybe the snake will coil once more and dream again.